Okay. Welcome back. Your man Don McKay in here. Don McKay in the morning on the all-new radioonfire.com. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Monday to y'all. A lot of things to get into, a lot of things to talk about. Of course, Don McKay in the morning, sponsored by Tasty Moscato. If you could pour sexy into a glass, this would be it. This smooth, seductive Moscato wine blended with vanilla takes your palate to a whole nother level of taste me. Unlike most, Tasty Moscato can be deliciously paired with a variety of meats, cheeses, veggies, as well as desserts. It's the sweet taste of luxury that you've been craving. You can check them out on Facebook. It's Tasty Moscato. Here on the program, we deliver the biggest political and trending news stories of the day with original reporting and interviews from across the country, emanating from our studios in Baltimore and Atlanta. Show is fun, show is upbeat, but I also want to expose what is really happening in this country. Whole lot of things going on. Radio on Fire is Black voices giving you the American story, and it's a hell of a story. New episodes drop Monday through Friday, 8 a.m., but I don't want you to miss any of our live broadcasts. In addition to this 8 a.m. program, we drop content throughout the day as news happens. Of course, you can check us out 24/7 on radioonfire.com, on Fire Television. So, let me say this, okay? I have been very vocal with my thoughts on the vaccine. I have. And whether you want to partake in it is fine. But the good brother, Reverend Jesse Jackson, he is someone who's taken the vaccine. And, he had a very public demonstration of his vaccination. Now, of course, we're talking about the Reverend Jesse Jackson, famed civil rights leader. He was a protege of the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King. So Jesse Jackson and his wife, sadly to report, hospitalized after testing positive for COVID-19. So, of course, we know Jesse Jackson is a two-time presidential candidate. He's 79 years old. He was vaccinated against the virus, received his first dose back in January. So it was a very highly publicized event. And he was urging folks to get the vaccine as soon as possible. He and his wife is 77, being treated at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago. So the reason why I'm saying this is that you often hear folks who defend the vaccine. You often hear them say, this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And all the unvaccinated people are the ones that are pushing the current surge. You hear a lot of folks saying it. The president says it. I hear folks on mainstream media outlets say this, that it is the unvaccinated people that are causing all of this. All right? Now, when you talk to them about this and you say, hey, wait a minute. Just because you're vaccinated does not mean that you cannot contract coronavirus. Just because you're vaccinated does not mean that you cannot pass coronavirus on to somebody else. Just because you've been vaccinated doesn't mean that you won't get hospitalized. But often they'll say, oh no, this, of course, everything. And when you say that, they'll say, well, nothing is perfect. And nothing is not, of course, it's not perfect. But the purpose of this vaccine, I assumed Because you often hear folks say you get vaccinated for elementary school and folks in the military have to take vaccines all the time, but they are not having to take vaccines, the same vaccine, 3 times in 1 year. No, this vaccine's not ready yet. At least that's what it appears to me. Now, if it makes sense, I'm with it. But you have a gentleman like Jesse Jackson and his wife in the hospital, right? Whole big vaccine push for them, and of course, you know, the supporters of the current vaccines are going to say, oh well, you know, he is immune compromised. Nobody's perfect. No vaccine's perfect. They're going to say everything, right? He's not the only one. He's not the only one. All I'm saying is that we're not 100% sure how effective this vaccine is just yet. Not to mention that there was this massive push by mainstream media, politicians, the White House, everybody. When they brought their vaccines out, they were saying, oh, the storm is over. You can go back to doing everything that you were doing before. The storm is over. Storm is not over. You can clearly see the storm is not over. You can clearly see that the storm is not over. So doctors are currently monitoring the condition of both, and I hope that they are okay. Of course, Jesse Jackson is in charge of the Rainbow Push Coalition. They don't have updates right now. We're definitely praying for him. As I said, protege of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Jesse Jackson was key, of course, in guiding the modern civil rights movement on a number of issues, including voting rights. Jesse's been putting in the work over the years. He has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. But despite that, Mr. Jackson has remained active and is an advocate for COVID-19 vaccines. You can see how much good it did him. But anyway, they try to do this thing like they'll say that black people are lagging behind white people in the vaccination drive. You see how helpful it is, right? And it's like, oh, it's preventing them from, people that have received the vaccines from getting that sick. He's in the hospital. Nowhere. Okay, right. Early this month, Mr. Jackson was arrested outside of the U.S. Capitol during a demonstration calling for Congress to end the filibuster in order to move forward with voting rights. So he was at this event at the Capitol, in jail, all around the country pushing for voting rights. How many people has Jesse Jackson come in contact with? And because he's vaccinated, he feels he's invincible, right? Because that's what mainstream media has said, even though it's not true. So you have people that are asymptomatic, not showing symptoms, and passing this around. But this is, of course, a pandemic of the unvaccinated. This is a pandemic of the misinformed. Yes, pandemic of the misinformed. You need to mask up. You need to keep your distance as much as possible. You definitely don't need to be up in people's faces. No mask, no nothing, because you was vaccinated. But that's what's happening all across this country. So I am definitely pulling for Jesse Jackson, 79 years old, and his wife, 77. His wife is Jacqueline. Both of them, Jesse Jackson, vaccinated against the virus. Received his first dose in January. I guess I'm going to say that it works perfectly, but he faded out. His dose faded out. Efficacy faded out. I guess that's what they're going to try to say. But I definitely hope that Mr. Jackson pulls through. I hope that Ms. Jacqueline pulls through, and everybody is good in that regard. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire, of course. Diamond K in the morning. I am here 8 a.m. And you can get the show wherever you get your podcast. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, WRF Radio, Radio on Fire, YouTube.com/DJ Diamond K. Of course, it is Diamond K in the morning on the all-new RadioOnFire.com on Fire Television. Take a break. We'll be back right after this. And we are back, of course, set on the other side. Diamond K in the morning, available on the WRF Radio app. Simply download WRF Radio in your app store. Leave me a comment. You can scroll your timeline, attend a Zoom meeting on mute, send an email, do some online shopping, all while listening to Diamond K in the morning. And the program is sponsored by Flyers on Fire. If you need a flyer created, Flyers on Fire can design your quality digital flyer in 24 hours. Are you promoting something on social media? Flyers on Fire can help you brand your message with a quality flyer. Visit us on Instagram at Flyers on Fire. And of course, breaking news, adult conversations covering topics that are important to the Black culture. Visit radioonfire.com for our original radio podcast and TV programs. So on the other side, we were talking about the vaccine. The vaccine that is not, it is not on par with other vaccines. You can't even compare it to other vaccines. You mean other vaccines that, what's the word I'm looking for? Worked? That worked, right? You can't say that this vaccine is going to protect me against the mumps, and then I get the mumps. And you say, "Oh, it's not effective against anybody, against everybody." I got the mumps from the mumps vaccine. What are you talking about right now? The measles. This vaccine is supposed to protect me against the measles, but I got the measles. Huh. This COVID-19 vaccine, you get the COVID-19, but you're not going to be that bad. Jesse Jackson's bad. Oh, well, you know, it's just not as bad as that bad, but I don't know. Yeah, a lot of excuses here. But however, they are pushing ahead, and the full FDA approval of Pfizer's COVID-19 shot will enable vaccine requirements. We're here, yes. Once they approve the Pfizer vaccine, then you're going to start to see this push. You're going to start to see some places make a mandate for the vaccine. Unfortunate, because I feel it is not ready yet. We can see evidence it's not ready yet. So that does concern me. I don't know if it concerns you because you may believe whatever the mainstream media tells you, but I want you to think about this. Think about this. So full federal approval of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, sadly, will empower some businesses and schools, universities to require vaccinations, and it may tip some hesitant Americans toward getting this shot in their arm. It is possible. Some people are going to be swayed by this. So the Surgeon General said that we already know that there are many businesses and universities that have moved toward vaccine requirements. He was on the CNN's State of the Union and said that, and I think it's a very reasonable thing to do to create a safe environment. What is he talking about? How is this going to create a safe environment? If you have people that you've told with the mindset that they get the vaccine and everything's fine, when everything is not fine, they can still spread it. They can still get it. How's everything fine? I don't even understand. But the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, is trying to finish its licensing process for the life-saving drug. I have to put air quotes by the life-saving. I guess. But this could happen this week. It's possible. It's possible that it could happen this week. Here's what concerns me. Okay? I got to ask the question. Here's what concerns me. Let's say we find out later that the vaccine, these rushed vaccine in 9 months, causes some type of other ailment later on. I've had this conversation with some doctors. The doctor said, even if it does cause ailments later on, it's better than having coronavirus. That's your answer, doc? For real? I don't know. That's what they're talking about. So until now, the Pfizer shot has been administered under the emergency use authorization, though experts continue to emphasize that it is safe and effective. So they further undermine the power of the FDA by saying there's not really a big difference between emergency use and full approval, which is not true, for the record, which is not true. But they're saying that, oh, it's not a big deal. There is a big deal. And you can't even trust everything the FDA says anyway. Let's not even get started with that. Some things that they call food that's not actually food. Same FDA, but whatever. We're going to keep going. So the highly infectious Delta variant is at the source of the spread. And the U.S. is experiencing a surge in COVID-19 cases. You know this. I know this. We all know this. Many southern states are still struggling in their fight. Hospital capacity is, something that they're dealing with. Our Republican leaders are not making this easy. And they have been resisting what I push for, which is mask mandates. But public vaccinations are something that Republicans, especially in the South, are resisting. So an overwhelming majority of COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths are among unvaccinated people, right? But there still are hospitalizations and deaths among vaccinated people. But the way that they present it, it's leading people in a certain direction. And I just feel that they should give them all the facts. All the facts. So a lot of health misinformation continues to dog the pandemic response. So we are at the start of a new academic year, obviously. Students across this country are returning to crowded campuses. Younger children who can get and pass the virus still aren't eligible for the vaccine. Does it concern anybody? Does it make you ask a question? Why aren't children eligible? Why is 12 years of age the eligible age? Does that mean that it is not safe? I mean, what do you? No one's asking these questions. But anyway, we're going to continue. So the Pfizer vaccine could win FDA approval very soon. Could. If you have taken the vaccine, what vaccine have you taken? Which vaccine are you championing? Some folks are at a point where they're ready to get their third dose within 1 calendar year of a vaccine that's supposed to work. Third dose. Now, let's see this. It's not like they're changing the recipe. Same recipe that they've been given. But they give it to you again. Why? Why are they giving it to you again? Something that concerns me. So the FDA approval will more than likely drive up some vaccination guess, rates, the numbers, because this is all a numbers game. This is all a numbers game. Your man Diamond K in here, Diamond K in the morning on the all new radio on fire.com. So with full approval, I mean, just around the corner, they're going to fill the airwaves and social media and everything with more messages about what a difference the vaccine makes in terms of preventing hospitalization and death. That's what's going to happen. You're going to see an even bigger media push. So something has to be done. So let's talk about some of these numbers. COVID-19 hospital crisis continues. And I'm not doubting or trying to minimize the fact that we are in a crisis, because we are. More than 95,000 people in the U.S. are hospitalized with COVID-19, according to data from the Department of Health and Human Services. More than 23,000 are in ICU beds. Several states that largely have lagged behind national rates of vaccinations are reporting hospitals reaching 100% capacity. That is what is pushing the latest COVID-19 surge. And they're claiming that it's not a lack of beds, it's a lack of staff. So get more people. I mean, because you don't have enough workers. It's like when you go to Walmart, right? And they have all of these lanes, but they don't ever use it. They use like 3 or 4 of the lanes. Why do they make these 10 lanes in Walmart or Target or the supermarket if they're not going to use them? It's like saying we have available lanes, we just don't have workers to work in these lanes. Bring some more people on, or shut up about it. Why even have those lanes there? Why have these beds if they don't have people to work there? Anyway, those at high risk, I mean, this should be obvious here. Those at high risk should avoid cruises for right now. Not where you want to be, okay? This is not the time to go on a cruise ship. Unvaccinated people, here's where they get people twisted at. Unvaccinated people, they're recommending, strongly urge to avoid this kind of travel. No, everybody should avoid this kind of travel, not just unvaccinated, because you vaccinated folks who think that you are superhuman, you can still get it too. So they need to understand. Here's why they want to make this stark difference between the two, vaccinated and unvaccinated, because they got all these doses that they bought that they want to use. Did you ever think about some of the potency waning because they have all these extra virus vaccine vials that they're not using? And so that is causing some of the potency to be diminished? No? Anybody think about that? All these are possibilities and things that could be the case. CDC has worked with cruise lines to authorize their operation and has posted a website with the status of infections on individual ships. But of course, they're going to blame this all on people without the vaccine. So I think that a lot of the media attention to this needs to be a little bit more honest. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Maryland's Governor Larry Hogan is a cancer survivor. And he just got his 3rd vaccine dose. So he got his shot, and he is urging the federal government to make booster shots available earlier than planned. So they want to make booster shots. This is the third shot available before the FDA has even approved any of this beyond emergency use. Now, did you ever wonder why they rushed the vaccine out 9 months? It's a miracle. It's a miracle. But they're dragging their feet with approval. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. So Maryland's governor was on Face the Nation, and he talked about receiving his additional dose this week at the recommendation of his doctors. When asked if he wanted Marylanders to get the booster shot as soon as possible, of course he does. Or wait the 8 months that is currently under federal guidelines. No, we can't wait that long. He just wants to shout out, everybody, get the shot. That was 3 shots, wasn't it? Yeah. All right, so some public health experts have said that a booster shot administered too early won't be as effective. What? So they can't even agree on the efficacy of this vaccine. But we're supposed to trust everything that they're saying. So those with compromised immune systems, like Governor Hogan, can receive a third dose without waiting 8 months. So if you just, this is another part of the problem. So because wherever you live, they're telling you, suggesting that you do different stuff. People have, it's got to kind of be across the board. Here's what we're doing. You can't say, oh, you live over here, you do this. You live over here, you do that. You got a cold or you have cancer, or you have some other type of ailment, you do this. And if you don't, then you do that. Because, I mean, people travel. So what happens in one area can quickly change with travel and people getting affected due to asymptomatic passing of the virus and any number of things. The fact that we are so all over the place with these recommendations, the fact that one is contradicting another, which contradicting another, and then when you look at the numbers and the data, they'll remove stuff. They say, oh, we don't count these people because they're immune compromised. And they'll just pull something out of the numbers altogether, and then to raise up, it's a lot that happens. A lot that happens. And I just want this thing to be fair and across the board. But that might be too much to ask for. You may Dominic K in here, Dominic K the Morning on the all-new radioonfire.com. Of course, I am here weekdays, 8 a.m. Also on the weekend, 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday in the mix. And radioonfire.com is where you go. 24/7 content right there. If you miss any episodes of anything related to Radio on Fire, of course, you can catch up on that. On the other side, we're going to talk about Governor Cuomo. He's in the final stages, almost ready to check out. You know what I mean? We can talk about the good governor on the other side. And we are back. You may Dominic K in here, Dominic K in the morning. You want to support Dominic K in the morning? Very easy to do that. I'm able to deliver our news and our views on Dominic K in the morning because of our listeners, sponsors, and of course, your donations. We are powered by the people and need and love your support. Visit radioonfire.com to make a one-time donation or join the Radio on Fire VIP Club. On social media, of course, at The Dominic K Show, at Radio on Fire. And we were talking about it. Governor Cuomo, he says that the storm will not stop his resignation. Of course, the governor spent his second to last day yesterday projecting an image that he is still in control. I cannot believe he has allowed himself to be put in this situation. But keep in mind that these are his word against their word. We have no proof of anything, but whatever. So you got a tropical storm, heavy rains, and all that kind of stuff. But the Democrat Cuomo is set to resign at the end of day today, and appeared at a televised briefing yesterday, surrounded by top state officials involved in the state's storm response. He is trying to milk this thing to the end. Of course, absent from the briefing is the current lieutenant governor, Kathy Hochul, who's going to become the governor. And Tuesday, she's going to be the first. So she says that she wasn't close to Cuomo anyway. But he says that tomorrow is his final day. That's what he said yesterday. And Hochul's spokesperson did not immediately respond to a question about her whereabouts. She did weigh in on the storm via Twitter. And she said that her team and her are closely monitoring the storm. So she is scheduled to be sworn in at 12:01 tomorrow. Cuomo announced 2 weeks ago that he was going to resign rather than endure the lengthy impeachment that was likely to happen in the battle and over these sexual harassment allegations. And I don't know where exactly all of this stems from, why this happened to him. But I do know that around the time he started having issues with former President Trump, this stuff started to surface. I'm not saying Trump did it or Trump surrogate did it. I'm just talking about the timing. Cuomo, for his part, has still maintained that he did not touch anyone inappropriately, and that some of the allegations against him are either false, exaggerated, or unintentional. But he said that he concluded continuing to fight to stay in office would actually hurt the state. So he is not doing that. He is leaving office. And frequently, what happens with Democrats, whatever they're accused of, they usually fold like a cheap chair under the pressure. And Democrats want them to go away. And that's usually what happens. Often what happens. So, do you think that we are going to see Cuomo return? Can he return? Can he recover from this? I don't know. Very, very, very hard to say. Very hard to say. President Biden says that the U.S.-led evacuation from Kabul is accelerating. So they're trying to get all of the Americans out and at-risk Afghans and others from the airport. So it remains a very, fluid situation. Very, very fluid situation. 1 week after the Taliban completed its takeover of Afghanistan, Biden said that discussions are underway among the military officials about potentially extending the airlift beyond the month of August. Biden set the deadline of August the 31st, and they may extend that. He said that our hope is we will not have to extend, but there are discussions, he said, suggesting the possibility that the Taliban will be consulted. So Biden also asserted, without a full explanation, that U.S. forces have managed to improve access to the airport for Americans and others seeking to get on flights. He suggested that the perimeter had been extended, widening a safe zone. So this has been a complete debacle with regards to the carrying out of this evacuation. So President said this, What I'm not going to do is talk about the technical changes. We're making to make sure we maintain as much security as we can. We have constantly, how can I say, increased rational access to the airport, the president said. More folks can get there more safely. It's still a dangerous operation, but I don't want to go into detail of how we're doing that. That is what the president said yesterday about this. And he's been under a lot of pressure with regards to this. A lot of folks talking greasy about how he's handled this. A lot of folks still wanting America to be here. They always say, we could have left another force behind. Smaller force. Forget all of that. No disrespect to the Afghans, but it's their country. And I don't understand what it is about Americans that feel that everybody wants to live the way that we live here. They have customs and they have different things that they've been doing long before there was an America over in Afghanistan. Their customs wouldn't work here. Our customs are not going to work there. We're always trying to go somewhere and force our beliefs on somebody. America's beliefs. And it doesn't work out. And you create this tension and this animosity that's building and bubbling. We need to get out of there. There's a whole lot of things. You want to fix up Afghanistan? There's a whole lot of places here in America that you can fix up. I mean, there is. And America first should not be something that is just said by one party or the other. America first should be the strategy and the ideology. This is America, right? I could see if we had this country all together. We got this country all together, then we can possibly go some other places if they want us to and help out. But we don't even have this. This country is more divided than it's been in a long time. At least it's the divisions are more pronounced. We need to fix some of those breaks in the foundation. We're talking about Afghanistan harboring potential enemies and terrorists of America. The biggest threat that we have right now is homegrown terrorists. Homegrown white nationalists, racist, white supremacists, right here in America. That's what we need to fix. Fix that first. America first. You man, Dominic K in here, Dominic K in the morning on the all-new radioonfire.com. We will be back after this. And we are back. You man, Dominic K in here, Dominic K in the morning is brought to you in part by jstoverbeauty.com. I want to talk directly to all my ladies out there. As you say goodbye to the summer and get ready for the fall, get all of your must-have beauty products from jstoverbeauty.com. Check out what they have. Quality wigs, Indian hair extensions, virgin hair extensions, professional hair care products, edge control, flat iron mist, mink eyelashes, satin wig bags, wax sticks, lace concealer, lace tint, and so much more. jstoverbeauty.com does custom wig making, maintenance, revamp services, and a variety of other things. You can check them out on social media at jstoverbeauty on Instagram, jstoverbeauty LLC on Facebook. Be a girl with mind, a woman with attitude, and a lady with class. Visit jstoverbeauty.com. And we're back, of course, You want to promote your product on Diamond K in the morning, just visit us, radioonfire.com/advertise to get that done. Of course, djdiamondk@gmail.com is how you get in touch with me. And I am here, as I said, weekdays, 8 a.m. and throughout the day as news happens, and so much going on. The Ravens look amazing so far. I mean, it's preseason, so let me not say too much. But the way things are right now, he looks pretty good. The Ravens, the Ravens look pretty good. Manny Pacquiao losing over the weekend. Definitely time for him to call it a career, and I think he's had an amazing career. But he has a future in politics that I hope that he is going to be doing. Hopefully, that's where he goes. But we're going to be having the sports show coming back as the football season gets underway. So a lot of sports topics. We're going to do that. A lot of new shows that are coming here at Radio on Fire and On Fire Television. And another thing, the Baltimore Music Awards, which are going to be broadcast exclusively on radioonfire.com. The nominations for the Baltimore Music Awards will start tonight at 12 midnight. So you're going to have all the information there. But on Instagram or Facebook, you can go to Baltimore Music Awards or on Radio on Fire, radioonfire.com/Baltimore Music Awards, and get more information on that. So I will be back tomorrow with more of the show, more things to talk about, whole lot of things to talk about, and the such. Of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. See you guys tomorrow.